We've done a lot of work with Mannadium on this channel in the past, but I don't know how we've entirely missed the treasure trove that is Tearlament Mannadium. Tearlament holds all of the gas that Mannadium has been missing, and trust me, Mannadium has not been short on gas. So basically what we're going to be doing is a standard sort of Mannadium Scarclaw list, except what we're doing is working in a lot of the Tearlament cards, things like Siren, Havness, Reinhardt, even some of the back row like Sulliek and the Grief, all of which are very useful, not only in terms of bolstering an end board, but also taking better advantage of various different parts of the Visas archetype that we haven't been taking advantage of to date. So we're going to be jumping in. I've got one or two quick replays I want to show off, and then we're going to do one or two live games. There's a ton of ways in which you can play this, and we've gone through quite a number of iterations to reach the one I'm showing you now. And the last thing that I'm not really sure on is whether or not I want to play Destrudo and the Ancient Fairy Dragon. I might cut this and play a second Astrolabe. I don't know yet. Either way, I'm going to hop in. I'm going to show you a couple of games of just us ripping people to shreds with combos in this. This deck is super fucking strong, and then we're going to hop in and do one or two live games as well. So if you're interested in this style of content, of course you can subscribe to catch more of it as it comes out. Like the video if you enjoy watching, and if you want to show even more support for the channel as we continue to grow our way through 2024, you can join the channel as a member using the link in the description or the join button down below. But either ways, let's get into game number one. Alright, this is the main one I want to show off here, just to sort of reveal why exactly the Tearlament cards add to the deck. So we're going to go for Rhoda here. Rhoda gets ashed off the rip, which, you know, totally fine. We've got a fucking busted ass hand. Why would I care about Rhoda? Reinhardt and Reinhardt in hand is fucking insane. So we're going to go Reinhardt. We're going to mill out a Siren, of course. Siren then going to activate the Fusion Summon. We're going to chain to that our Reinhardt, which is going to pop the Reinhardt on board. Because again, remember, Reinhardt satisfies the conditions of all of our various cards. We're going to pop the Reinhardt, shuffle back 2 to fuse into Kalos. It is at this stage that we could do an absolute ton of different things. I actually believe that we search our deck for Havness, which may have been among the weakest of the options available, if I'm being perfectly honest. They're going to try and Ghost Ogre our Reinhardt. We could just let that resolve, but honestly I would rather have the Reinhardt on deck to work alongside our Mannadium cards as we go forward. So we are going to use Call of the Grave to negate that Ghost Ogre so we can keep our Reinhardt on deck. We're going to grab Mannadium Meek from our deck, and this is where we basically get into the whole one-card Mannadium combo, because that's what we have access to. And the Tearlament combo is working alongside it in conjunction, and it's not clashing in any way, it's just providing us additional gas. We're going to go screen to grab ourselves a Sulliek. Now we're going to summon out the Meek from the hand. We're going to synchro summon using R4 and R2 to go into the brand new Mannadium Trisuka. Trisuka then, of course, going to bring back a level 2 tuner from the graveyard on being summoned. We're going to use it and the Trisuka to go back into our Visas Amritara. Amritara then, on summon, going to search our deck for the Calarium, Peaceful Planet Calarium. Now we're going to link it off, link one into the Scarclaw Lightheart. This is where we get into the Scarclaw engine now. Scarclaw going to grab the primitive planet Reichphobia. Reichphobia going to grab us a Scarclaw Reichhardt. Reichhardt going to summon itself out to the field, search our deck for Scarclaw, our rival. Now we're going to link these two into the Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep being an excellent bridge between the archetypes. We're going to go Peaceful Planet Calarium now. Calarium going to grab us the Visa Starfrost that we have. But remember, Starfrost popping the Havness, the summon itself, is going to trigger the effect of Havness to shuffle back to the Fusion Summon into the Tearlaments Rilkalos. That's why we're running the Havness here, so we get popping off of our Visa Starfrost and get that additional Fusion Summon. But now we're going to Synchro Summon using these two to go into the Chaos Angel. We're going to go Scarclaw, our rival, bringing back the Reichhardt. Now we're going to link to, again, into the Sprite Elf. Sprite Elf then over the Rilkalos, protecting Rilkalos from targeting. We're going to bring back the Meek from the graveyard, banishing 2 to go into the vicious Astrolabe. Now we got the Astrolabe and the level 2 Meek. We're going to Synchro Summon once again into the Ice Jade Gwymir Arginine. Arginine is an absolutely busted card. This, basically, what is this board? First of all, the board is all glossy, which is pretty dope, right? The Arginine is going to protect our whole board from banishment and from destruction. Rilkalos negates an effect of special summons. Chaos Angel protects all of our monsters from battle destruction and all of our synchro monsters from activated monster effects. We've got Ash. We've got an effect negation here in the form of Sulliek. We've got Sprite Elf protecting these two from targeting. We have so much going on this board. It's just a very difficult thing to deal with, right? And there's a lot of follow-up involved as well. They're going to try activating their Rakushi. We're going to go Ice Jade Gwymir Ajane. We're going to banish that monster pretty much immediately. he had a second copy, but a busted hand. Well, Kalos, of course, going to activate in response to the Wakyushi. We're going to negate that again. Sprite Elf, then we're going to target the Sprite Elf, chain the Sprite Elf to bring back a Meek from the graveyard, and that does serve a purpose. We're going to send Wilkalos then to negate and destroy the Wakyushi. That's going to trigger Wilkalos and Grave to summon itself back to the field. Now they're going to go for Soul Piercer, linking off into the Scarecrow. Scarecrow, of course, the Link 1 combo starter. The Soul Piercer going to try and search the deck. We're going to hit that with our Ash Blossom from hand. And we have one major interruption left, and that is, of course, discounting all of our insane protection, right? They're going to go for the Peacemaker, tribute off. They're going to go into this little dork here, Scales, trying to bring back the Soul Piercer. Sully Aikden's going to be able to send our Meek from our board to the graveyard to negate the Scales, and just like that, he's got absolutely nothing, and he decides to leave. So that's just an example of how the Tearlaments cards like just interweave so smoothly into the existing sort of Mannadium Scareclaw strategy. It's completely seamless, right? It doesn't, you don't feel like the extra weight, it doesn't feel like a burden, it doesn't clog up your hands. Again, the Rhino Heart satisfying the summoning conditions of your various monsters. You can, again, if you summon Rhino Heart, you can summon Meek, right? You can summon Torrid. You can activate Rheum Heart. You can do all of these things. If you have a Tearlaments monster on board, you can pop it off the Visa to bring in the Visa Starfrost, and then trigger off your fusion effects. It's just incredible, and I don't know why I haven't been playing this to date. It just feels amazing every time I play it, and we're going to hop into a few live games, and hopefully, assuming we don't get bodied, we should show off just a little bit of that power. Before we even hop into our live gameplay, I just want to get one last look at the deck list here, and I am going to make one brief adjustment. As we were watching that previous replay, it did sort of, I did come across on my mind. I settled on it. We're taking out the Strudo, we're taking out the Ancient Fairy Dragon, and the reason we're doing that is because the Vicious Astroloid, we use it pretty much every single game. Because we're running a Hero Lives, and because we're running the additional Rhino Hearts and such, we can actually get very, very easy access to a second copy of the Astroloid. So we're going to put that in, and we're going to triple up on our piece of Starfrost. We may adjust this as time goes on. Like I said, this deck, I've gone through so many different iterations of it that it's not I don't think there is a perfect version of this, because it is so damn powerful, and every aspect of the deck is just competing for space because they're just so strong that it's difficult to reach like a final definitive list without wanting to make small adjustments here and there. So if you do find yourself playing this and making small adjustments, don't feel bad. That's exactly what the deck does. That means you're playing it right. But either way, let's get into game number one. Coming off the back of our Morphia video, we're about to rank up. We were just playing that deck. To you, it was yesterday. To me, it was just about 10 minutes ago. So we're about to rank up here as a result of us playing Morphia. If you haven't watched that video, check it out. That deck is fucking incredible. Best version of Dinos, hands down. Let's get in here. We got the Rhino Heart. We got the Primitive Planet. Scareclaw. Damn. His hand is woo. He's got the Sheesh though, which is a bit of a problem. The Sheesh is a bit of a problem. We are going to go for our Primitive Planet, the Perlarine. I don't know how to fucking say that shit. I don't care. You know what's funny about this? This card being able to grab Visa Starfrost makes it like the perfect bridge between archetypes. It's so good. I am actually, I think, going to grab Visas off of this. Yeah, I'm definitely going to grab Visas off of this for damn sure. That is all good. Gonna go for a Droll here. Interesting. So Droll means he can't hit us with the Maxi. That's interesting. I'm gonna go for the Rhino Heart here. Rhino Heart gonna activate its effect. We're gonna mill a card. That's very, very interesting. So that means no. It means no Maxi. Very interesting. So we're gonna summon you. I'm going to activate one of my Tearlaments. I'm going to send a Grave. Going to send for Kit. Kit then's going to shuffle back. Sorry, send Siren. They're going to shuffle back. Kit then can send from deck to Grave, right? Where is it? You can take one Tearlament card from deck, either add it to hand or send it to Grave. Yep, okay. So we can just go into Wilkalos, and then Wilkalos. And if this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, yeah. Okay, we'll do that. We'll send Siren first. We're going to activate the Siren in Grave. We're going to fusion summon. Great. Gonna fuse these two. Now again, if we were to do this not under Droll, we would have a lot more flexibility. However, because we're under Droll, there's a lot of things that we're doing just because we're kind of forced to do them, if that makes sense. I am also going to do this. This is going to let us just mill an additional like 5 cards. which is fine, because we're going to have to shuffle back Kit anyway, so I don't mind. We're going to pop the Kit. Kit is going to send Havness to Grave. Right? And because we're doing it like this, we then get to activate the Havness Chainlink 1. We will Kikalos Chainlink 2, so we mill first, and then we fuse. We might end up hitting something else that we want to fusion summon into, we don't know. We're going to mill for 5, we mill the Siren. Going to fuse in the Rolkalos though. Fusion Shokan. We sent the Scream and stuff, but we already have all of that in hand, so we honestly don't care about that. Alright, in the Rolkalos. Alright. We could go Obsidian, summon Starfrost, link Starfrost off into the Lightheart. We would not get to search. Then I bring you back off Arrival, link 2 in the Cross Shape, and I don't really do anything there. So yeah, I think we're fine. I think we just chill. We have a lot of potential follow-up here for the next turn as well. I am going to set Reframing, even though we can't use it here. The Droll definitely hurt us a little bit, but Rolkalos is still a really powerful card. And I'm fairly confident that we're going to be able to take this and win. Why are you still at 35? What? Do you get... Wait, hang on. Fusion monsters... oh, it's just a permanent buff boost. Oh, shit. Okay, and then we just win. Awesome. Cool. I guess we win. That's the game 2. Alright, talk about an easy promo match. Even under the Droll, able to set up an interruption or two is pretty damn sick. We didn't have like the strongest board in the world there, but we still had a Summon Negate, we still had a Effect Negate. Rolkalos, of course, being recurring as well, plus we had the Visas, we had the Obsidian, we had Reframing as well when we summoned a Synchro Monster during our own turn. The amount of follow-up we had was incredible. And this hand is no exception. This hand is, again, absolutely bonkers. So we're going to start with the Rhinoheart, of course. Hopefully he goes like Imperm or something on this. You'll love to see Imperm in response to the Rhinoheart. Okay, we're going to mill a Havness. Okay, I'm going to activate Havness. So you ideally, and again, I sort of make this mistake myself a lot, you want to kind of start with the Havness. Because you have a higher chance then of milling your Siren off of your Kalos later, because there's 2 copies of it. I usually do it reversed like an idiot. So we did it right this time. Rheum Heart going to pop the Rhinoheart, going to summon itself out to the field. Havness then going to fusion summon into Kit using the Rhinoheart that we just sent to the grave as well as itself. We can even use the one in hand, but, you know, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Of course you want to use the one in the grave, right? Summoning out the Kit. So we've got a few options for what we can do here. So we are going to go Rheum Heart Chainlink 1. We can go Kikalos Chainlink 2. So we can go Tearlaments Grief here. We could go into... Have I summoned 5 times? Rhinoheart, Rheum Heart, Kikalos. No, I've only summoned 3 times. We could go Grief. Grief would be pretty awesome. I already got visas and stuff in hand though. Like, why would I want to go into Tearlaments Grief, right? I have no reason to. I might as well just go Siren. There's no reason for me to not... I guess grabbing Sulliek? I don't really have another way to search my deck for Sulliek, right? So, Sulliek's probably a good shout. Because I don't, like, need to... Yeah, I'm going to go Sulliek here. Maybe that's bold of me. Maybe that's bold. But I'm confident. Trust. I'm going to add Sulliek to hand. Because I've got a lot of plays I can make here. I've got a lot of plays that I can make here. I'm pretty confident. Let me see. Summon a Tearlaments monster from your hand or graveyard. Send us to the grave. That's whatever. So I can use you to summon out the remaining Rhinoheart, but I don't even really think I need to do that. I am, however, going to summon out my Meek. So we are going to summon this. Man, this guy's making me nervous. I don't want him to have like a fucking nib, right? Oh, damn. He's making me nervous. I'm going to go Starfrost. I am. I'm going to go Starfrost. I'm going to pop the Meek, I think. Maybe I just pop Kit. No. I'm going to pop the Meek. Yeah. Get popping. Summon out Starfrost. Gonna activate the Meek here. Gonna summon out another Meek from deck. Right here. We're not gonna change its level. Okay, perfect. Okay, now I'm gonna go Baron. Right, he had me nervous there for a second. I'm not gonna lie. He had me nervous for a second, but okay, I'm a lot more confident now. We're chill. We're chill. We're relaxed. We're chilling. So the reason we did it that way is because now we can continue our plays with the Trisuka, which was our plan. We can go kill Kalos, send itself, summon the Rain of Heart from hand, which ended up having use after all. Then we can, mill our 5 cards and whatever. We can use the Meek and the Rain of Heart to go into Trisuka, into Amritara, then blah blah blah, continue our combo as if nothing ever happened. And we have now a Baron to protect it from a Nib, right? And Nib is what I was most worried about. So the fact that we're no longer worried about Nib is big. So we're going to summon the Sand Kit, summon Rain of Heart. Yep, out it comes. Sick, mill 5. Mill a Siren. Please. No Siren. Oh, we milled Scream, man. We could have fucking... Damn it. We could have searched for Shoutin then and had Scream search for a Sulliak. Damn. Unfortunate. Sort of have to hedge your bets on what you think you're going to mill. And I just bet wrong, I guess. Fuck me. We're going to go Trisuka right here. Trisuka's going to bring back Meek. We've got 2 to choose from. What have you got? Is it like a Gamma? Like, what have you got in your hand? What am I waiting on? What is this delay? What is happening? What are you holding on to? Like, I don't get it. Alright, let's go for Meek. We could actually, like... We could do a lot of things here. We could do a lot of things. Have we normal summoned? We have. Buddy, can I like play the game without you trying to interrupt me for 5 fucking seconds? Please? Alright, we're gonna use these 2. We're gonna go into the Amritara. I'm gonna summon the Amritara over here. Just because I plan on using the right hand side, which to use this side, for my Link plays, right? My Link shenanigans. Okay. Visas. Sick. Let's get searching. So I'm actually somewhat tempted to grab the Tearlament field spell here, if I'm being honest, to grab Shadowrun. But Calarium grabbing us... I mean, both grab us Visas, right? I guess the follow-up effect of Calarium's a lot stronger. Man, both are really good. Both are really, really good effects. I've already got Visas in play. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it, I think. Is there a point? No. Let's try it. Fuck it. Let's try it. Fuck it. Let's see. This might be a mistake. It might not be. Who knows? We're going to activate this to get searching. We're going to grab the Shadowrun from our deck to hand. This might be stupid. It might not be. Who knows? I've already used Havness, so we're going to grab Siren. Great. Okay. So now we're going to link 1 with the Amritara into the Scarclaw Lightheart. We're going to use the Lightheart to search the Scarclaw field spell. Like I said, there's so many lines in this deck that even I don't know them all. And I've been playing this deck a good little bit over the last sort of couple of days. This deck's a lot of fucking fun, and there's so many different ways you can do it. Like, there's so many different lines. It's just fucking crazy how strong it is. We got the right card on deck. We can special the right card out to the field now. Out it comes. That's going to trigger its effect to get searching. What are you holding on to? Like, you just turn your toggle off. I've got Baron, just turn your toggle off. Okay. Now we're going to go Cross Sheep. Yeah? Yeah. Cross Sheep here is fine. I am going to, before anything else, I am going to go Arrival here. Buddy, come on. What are you doing? Does he have like 2 hand traps? He thinks he's gonna like bait Baron with one? I don't like. What are you doing? It's a Bestials maybe? Maybe he's got Bestials. I don't fucking know. I am gonna bring back the Starfrost here. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe that was a mistake. Okay, grab Starfrost. Yeah, I think grabbing Calarium likely would have been the best play for us. The reason I'm doing this is so that I can use Lightheart. I can bring Lightheart back to go into Elf just a little bit later in the turn. So I don't have another Visas Engrave, unfortunately, so I do have to use this one as material to go into the Astrolabe. So it's a small, potentially even a small waste, even. Oh, but it's okay, we win. I just realized my camera was frozen there. But yeah, apparently we just win. Sure, next game. Surely you're starting to understand what I mean now when I say that this deck has infinite gas. It just keeps going. It just keeps going forever. It's so much stuff to do. And again, we misplayed there by not grabbing the Calarium. We definitely should have grabbed Calarium over the Tearlaments field spell. And now we know, and now you know. We all learned something from that game. Good stuff. Man, look at this hand. Look at how much gas is in this hand. Look at this hand. Look at how much gas we have. Now we are going second, so this could be dicey. It looks like our opponent is playing Denomorphia, so this could be a dicey one. Trying to think. Isn't Chaos Angel alright? It's a lot of fucking back row. It's a lot of back row already. Ooh, a hero lives though. A hero does in fact live. Alright, let's start with a hero lives. Just to test the waters. I think Chaos Angel might be our out here. Might be. We'll see. Okay, gonna go Frenzy. That's fine. We anticipated this. This is not news. We expected this. Okay. Gonna send Diplo, sending the Stealth Bird. Summoning out Kentragina. Yup. Cool. We're gonna summon out a Plasma right here. Now, Kentragina, I can only imagine it's gonna go into Rexsturm pretty much right away. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's a little rough, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little rough. We can make it work though. We can make it work. Okay, out comes Rexsturm. Alright, I'm gonna activate Prisma while I still can. Gonna reveal Astrolabe, sending it to grave. Sending the visas from deck to grave. That's why we're running 3 of it. Okay. Prisma Imperm. Alright. That's not terrible. Again, I'll take that. That's A-okay. I would have liked for your name to be Visa Starfrost so I could summon my Torrid, but, you know, again, beggars can't be choosers. We will take what we can get. I'm going to continue testing the waters. We're going to go for the Tearlament field spell. We're just testing the water. We're going to see what we can get away with. Okay. So I'm going to go Rhinoheart here. Rhinoheart. I'm going to summon you. You're still going to... Oh, the field spell pushed me up to 2k. Oh no. Shit. That's my bad. I definitely should have used that position there. Ah, I'm not smart. That was dumb of me. That was not Not my best moment, not gonna lie. Not my best moment. Okay. Arrival. Targeting the Starfrost. He might negate this. No, he's not afraid of my monsters. That's fair. He's not afraid of them. And he has no reason to be afraid of them. Not yet. I have yet to give him cause for concern. But I will. Trust. We're gonna summon the Torrid because we can. Alright. Now we go for Chaos Angel. So the reason Chaos Angel is so important here is, yes, I cannot activate its effect to banish. Can't do anything like that. But he cannot use Rexterm to lower my attack points. He can't do it. He still has outs. Don't get it twisted. But there's less of them. So we're now going to pump the Torrid to summon the Starfrost from hand. Yep, perfect. Summon Visa Starfrost. Activate the Torrid Engrave. Call by? No. Gonna grab Meek. Oh, summon Meek, sorry. Yeah, even better. Even better. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. Trying to set this up in a way where he doesn't realize what I'm doing. Alright, let's go Obsidian. Let's pop the Meek. Yeah. Go for Calarium. That triggers the Meek. Summons itself out again. Awesome. We are not going to change its level. We are not going to do that. Alright, now we're going to go for Calarium. Add a card from deck to hand. Sure. Sure thing, bud. Gonna grab Reamheart. We have not yet used Reamheart. That's silly. We haven't used Reamheart yet. I can activate a position from Grave. I activate you. Okay, so first I'm gonna Baron. Visas and you. Alright, now I'm gonna Reamheart. Gonna pop the Meek. Summon itself. Trigger off Meek and Calaria. Reamheart, of course, can't activate its effect because it's too large. We've got too many tuners. We're too good at the game. Look at what we can do without using monster effects on field. Like, that's no Reinhardt effect, no Reamheart effect, none of that shit. And this is what we're doing. Hang on, what's the sitch here? With, what's the sitch with you? One or more tuners. You know what, I'm gonna do that. Then we're gonna go Visas here. Armatara. So basically, Armatara is light, and it's a synchro monster, so it's gonna be pretty big because of our field spell. 3,200, pretty large, very in charge. Now we can fuse using Uno and Dos. Yep, into the Astrolide. Go into this here. Look at this board. Like, this was done under the Dynamorphia lock. This is insane. Into the battle phase. Please tell me you don't know how to read. Yes! Oh my god! Yes! There's no way! There's no way that worked! Oh my god, this is the best deck in the game. This is the best deck in the game. Bring up the deck profile. You saw it here first. You saw the deck live in action. You saw the plays. You saw the combos. This is now my favorite version of Mannadium. It is. It just is. It's so broken. I love it. Everything about it. I love it. So let's go over the deck list. Let's sort of cover off what each of the cards do. First of all, we're going to remove the hand traps. We're running just a very minimal standard maxi package. Triple maxi, triple ash, double crossout. Single crossout, double callby. Super simple. Because we're playing such a girthy engine, like look at this, 35 cards. Damn. Maybe some room for maneuver there. We can slim this marginally so we can. But nine extra auxiliary slots to do whatever you want with. It's not a lot. It isn't a lot, and I will grant you that. However, there is ways to make room in the main deck for additional sort of hand traps if you really want to, right? So we're gonna cover the Mannadium cards first. Triple Meek, 1 Torrid, we got triple Radium Heart, 1 copy of Obsidian, 2 copies of Calarium, and the 1 reframing. So this is sort of like your standard Mannadium package. Again, Meek and Torrid will special summon themselves to the field when you control either Visa Starfrost or a Heart monster, being either Radium Heart, Rhino Heart, or Reichheart, because they all have 1500 attack and 2100 defense. So these guys can summon themselves beside any of your Reichheart monsters, any of your Heart monsters, so long as their attack points have not been changed. That is the big thing. Calarium will change Radium Heart's attack points. The Primeval Planet will change Rhino Heart's attack points. Luckily, Reichheart's attack points will never really change, so it's unironically the most reliable of the Heart monsters. But Meek and Torrid can summon themselves next to any of those, or of course, the main man himself, Visa Starfrost, as well as his copycats, Prisma and Amritara. So these guys, super versatile cards overall. Meek, when destroyed by a card effect, will summon out another Meek from the deck. Torrid, when destroyed by a card effect, will summon a Meek from the deck. Meek is not once per turn, Torrid is. Very straightforward. Radium Heart can, during the main phase, it can target either a Mannadium monster or another Heart monster as a quick effect. Pop that card to summon itself from hand. Radium Heart and Rhino Heart in hand is such a powerful combo because of that effect. It really is awesome. It helps you dance around your Rhino Heart being impermed or veilered or anything like that, which really helps, especially if your opponent just thinks you're playing regular Tearlaments, which happens so often. But they try to like negate this guy by targeting him, and you can just dance around that by hitting it with a Radium Heart. Sick. So you can special summon this guy from hand pretty easily, and then on summon he searches your deck for a Mannadium card, i.e. your Meek, right? We all know the Mannadium 1-card combo, and if you don't know that combo, at the end of this video you're going to see it pop up above my head. You make sure to click that to get more information. But the 1-card Mannadium combo comes down to Radium Heart himself. We have the 1 copy of Obsidian, which will target a monster you control and destroy it and grab yourself a Peaceful Planet Calarium, or if you already control Calarium, will grab you your reframing. Very strong card. It can also banish itself from the graveyard to summon out Visa Starfrost or any Heart monster from your hand. So this is really fucking strong. It's really powerful, especially in this version of the deck, because you can summon out Rhino Heart. Summoning Reichheart in the past was cool. Summoning Visa Starfrost is and will continue to be an amazing option. But getting the additional option to special summon a Rhino Heart from hand mid-combo is incredible. And lastly, we have Calarium. Well, not lastly, but next we have Calarium, which will search your deck for either a Mannadium monster or a Starfrost on summon, on activation. It will boost the attack points of all your light monsters by 100 for every tuner you control and in your graveyard, which is usually honestly a bad thing, but, you know, more attack points. And lastly, if a face-up tuner you control is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you get to basically summon back one of those tuners, which is incredible. So it means that if you pop a Meek, You summon back a Meek as well as summoning another Meek from deck. And lastly, we have Reframing. So long as you control a Synchro monster, this is an Omni-Negate, and it's a counter trap, which is insane. So that's the Mannadium package, pretty straightforward. Tearlaments, we have 1 Havness, double Siren, triple Rhino Heart. We have 1 Tearlaments Grief, which is optional, and we have 1 Scream and 1 Sulliek. Now, the Tearlament package is the one thing that can be adjusted more than most, so you can play between 1 to 3 copies of Rhino Heart. You don't have to play 3, you can play 1. You can get away with 1 because your Primeval Planet is searchable, there's other utility cards, but having the additional Heart monster at your disposal is usually better than anything, right? Because again, your entire sort of Mannadium combo, the whole point, the reason that Rheum Heart is a 1-card combo is because it searches for Meek, right? But if you have Meek next to any other Heart monster, especially Rhino Heart's even better at it than the others, then you still have not only your full combo, but then some. So definitely, I think 3 of is best. But if you don't have 3 or you don't want to play 3, you can cut them down as long as you're playing at least 1. Siren, I think at 2 is the correct ratio. Havness at 1 is the correct ratio. So Rhino Heart basically on summon will send a Tearlament monster from deck to graveyard. Very straightforward. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon it, but you need to send a Tearlament card from your hand to the graveyard. So the whole point of Tearlaments is that, unlike the whole sort of destruction and shuffling and reviving of Mannadium, these guys all get effects that activate in the graveyard if they're sent there by card effect. Siren and Havness both have the same effect, where if they're sent to the grave by a card effect, you get to shuffle them and other monsters back to from your graveyard or field, or your hand back into the deck to conduct a fusion summon. They both also have effects in hand. Havness, if your opponent activates a monster effect, will special summon itself and then send the top 3 cards of your deck to the grave. And Siren can special summon itself in your hand by discarding another monster, and then you mill the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. So they both mill cards as well, which is pretty handy, because if you can mill like a piece of Starfrost to grave or anything like that, more gas for later. And that's where the fluctuation of the engine comes in, because there are a ton of cards that you really would like to see in grave that you could run more copies of, right? You could run additional copies of Scream to more consistently get access to it being milled, or even milling more cards to get access to your Sulliek, right? That's another option. You could run more Obsidian to use its graveyard effect more often. So there's a lot of things you could do with the whole milling of cards. I don't think there's enough milling going on and not going on consistently enough for me to worry too much about that, but it is definitely something worth considering. We have, of course, the Primeval Planet, which will search for either a Tearlament monster or a Visa Starfrost on activation, just like Calarium. It will also then boost up the attack of all your Tearlaments and Fusion monsters by 500, just flat. And if a Tearlament monster you control or that's in your graveyard is shuffled back into your deck or extra deck, you get to pop a card your opponent controls. So if you manage to conduct one of your Fusion summons during your opponent's turn, which is not difficult to do, you then not only get to Fusion summon, you also get to then pop an additional card. So this is likely the best of the field spells to end with if you're going first. So you probably want to save this one towards the end, unless you have no plays, in which case, by all means, just use it at the beginning. Lastly, we have... Oh, sorry, I skipped over Grief. Grief allows you to special summon a Tearlament monster or a Visa Starfrost from your deck or graveyard, then send one monster you control to the graveyard with the same type or attribute as the special summon monster. If this card is sent to the grave by a card effect, you can target a banished Tearlament trap and add it to hand. So that second effect doesn't come up very often, but the first effect, allowing you to summon a Starfrost or a Tearlament monster and then send it to grave, is very useful, because you can summon a Starfrost and then just send Starfrost to grave, and that just puts it in grave for an Astral outplay. Or you can summon a Tearlaments monster and send the Tearlaments monster to the grave to conduct a fusion summon. So there is definitely a little bit of versatility here. It's a nice search off of Kikalos, which is why I'm playing it. But I've yet to resolve it. So if you wanted to cut this card, you wouldn't be losing anything major out of the deck. You could definitely, if you really want the extra space to play something else, perhaps more copies of Obsidian, which would likely be a good idea, you can do that instead. I would, honestly, so the reason I would do this, the double Obsidian, is because you can use that very same Kikalos search to either grab Sulliek, which is more value, or you can grab Siren, which you can then summon to the field and pop off of Obsidian. So I feel like there's just a lot more to be had off of a double Obsidian, because I really, really like this card's graveyard effect, and the more searches we can free up, the better, right? Because let's not forget, Amritara normally searches for Calarium. If you can get your hands on Calarium through any other means, it means that Amritara can use its search on literally anything else. It can grab Sulliek, it can grab any field spell, it can grab Reframing, it can grab whatever you want. So freeing up Amritara's search is very useful, especially for a card that has a useful graveyard effect like Obsession. Scream. If you control a Tearlaments monster and a monster summoned to the field, you get to mill 3 cards to the top of your deck, and all your opponent's monsters lose 500 attack for the rest of that turn. And if it's sent to the grave by a card effect, you can grab a Tearlaments trap from deck to hand, i.e. Sulliek. And why do we like Sulliek? Well, it's a continuous trap card that once per turn, if you control a Tearlaments monster or Visa Starfrost, you can target an effect monster your opponent controls, negate its effect, and then send one monster you control to the graveyard, any monster. If this is sent to the grave by a card effect, you get to grab a Tearlaments monster from deck to hand. So very, very powerful card. More often than not, you're going to be using this alongside the likes of Earl Kalos, or even perhaps just alongside Visa Starfrost himself. Then we've got the Scarclaw cards. Double Rykart, and the one Primitive Planet Rakphobia. Very, very, very small Scarclaw package. Most of the Scarclaw cards don't really fit too well into the deck, but Rykart is one of the best heart monsters in the whole deck, and the whole archetype really. I think he is definitely one of, if not the best, purely because of his versatility. He can special summon himself next to a zone that any Scarclaw monster is, so he can summon himself next to Lightheart most importantly. On summon, he searches your deck for your Scarclaw Arrival, which is a non-once per turn monster reborn, for either a Scarclaw monster or Visa Starfrost. Great. Everything about this card is fantastic. He's searchable from your deck off of the field spell, which is your Primitive Planet Rakphobia. On activation, grab a Scarclaw or Visa Starfrost, and if 3 or more defensive position monsters are on the field, you can use this card to pop any card your opponent controls. It also reduces all of your opponent's monsters by 100 attack and defense for every defensive position monster on the field. So, very versatile field spell, definitely. Easily searched for through your primary combo using your Scarclaw Lightheart, which on summon will search your deck for Primitive Planet, which then will search for Rykart, right? So you could honestly get away with playing one of this card, but he's honestly good enough to play 2 of, for sure. And then we just have our auxiliary cards. We have the Elemental Hero Prisma, plus our 3 copies of A Hero Lives. This guy was already top tier in Mannadium because A Hero Lives basically just special summons Prisma directly from deck, and Prisma can activate to reveal a fusion monster to send one of its named materials from deck to grave to copy its name for that turn. So the most powerful use of this card is revealing Astronaut to become Visa Starfrost while sending one to grave. So not only do you have one in grave for like an Astrolight play later, you're copying its name, which means you can go straight into Lightheart into your whole Scarclaw combo, which is just incredibly powerful off of a free special summon. Or now in this version of the deck, it's even more powerful because you can reveal the Kaleido Heart to send Rhino Heart to the graveyard to put an additional Tearlaments monster in grave to do some fusion shenanigans later. So Prisma is even more powerful in this version of the deck, which is incredible. We have Rhoda and Foolish Burial, because why not? 3 copies of the main man himself, he's a Starfrost. Unironically, a really good card as well, because he can special summon himself from the hand by destroying any monster on your field. And again, you're triggering off the likes of Meek, Torud, Siren, Havness, triggering off all of their effects when you summon them out that way as well. So everything about this card is awesome. And I think that pretty much covers, yeah, that covers the whole main deck. Then for our extra deck, we have Kit, Earl Kalos, and Kaleido Heart, all the Tearlaments fusions. This card on summon will search your deck for a Tearlaments card or send it to the graveyard. You can target a monster you control, including itself, send that to the graveyard to special summon a Tearlaments monster from your hand or grave. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, including its own, I'm not dropping hints for anything, I'm just saying, if it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to mill the top 5 cards of your deck. So everything about this card is just awesome. Earl Kalos. This card is a fusion of Tearlaments Kick Kalos as well as any other Tearlaments monster. Other Aqua monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle, which doesn't really matter in this version, but what's funny is it actually protects Gwamir, which is like, it's small, but like, cool. It protects Gwamir, which is pretty neat. But its main use is the fact that when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster, you can negate the activation, destroy the card, then send a Tearlaments card from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. But if this fusion summon card is sent to the grave, it immediately comes back. So typically you're going to send this card for its own cost, and then you're going to bring it back to the field again. And then we got Kaleido Heart, who is a fusion of Rhino Heart and 2 other Aqua monsters. If it's special summoned, or if an Aqua monster is sent to your graveyard by a card effect while it's on the field, you get to target a card your opponent controls and shuffle it into the deck, so it is an on-summon or on-demand spin back to deck, which is amazing. It's 3k attack and defense, so it is huge. If it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon it, and then you get to send a Tearlaments card from your deck to the graveyard, which is infinitely more powerful than the effect of Volcalos, because it doesn't have to be this fusion summoned card, meaning you can continually loop it. And by sending an additional Tearlaments card from the deck to the graveyard, you're just netting yourself more advantage. You're sending a Rhino Heart for Astrolight, you're sending a Siren or a Havness to fusion summon. It is just, you're sending a Scream to grab Sulliek, right? There's so many things you can do with that additional mill, and that's once per turn, so you can loop this every single turn. It's incredible. We have Astrolight, a generic sort of Visas fusion. Basically, you banish Visas Starfrost and any Heart monster from your graveyard to special summon this directly from the extra deck. On summon, it pops an opponent's card. It's primarily useful because number one is a fusion monster that you can summon on demand, which helps out with Cross Shape. It is a level 8 monster non-tuner, which helps you go near level 10 synchros, and it is a very powerful card going second because it pops a monster on summon. So everything about this is just, I mean, again, I keep saying this is one of the single best support cards for the entire Visas archetype. It ties so many things together and helps you play through so many bad hands. That I'm tempted to run 3 of it in most decks. This version's too tight, but in most versions of Mannadium, I'm always thinking to myself, like, can I fit a 3rd Astrolight in? Because he's that good. Getting into synchros, we have our 2 new synchros, the Trasuka as well as the Amritara. Trasuka on summon brings back a level 2 tuner from the graveyard. It itself is a tuner, so you're going to use that tuner and this tuner to go into your Amritara. Amritara on summon will search your deck for any spell or trap that mentions Visas Starfrost, which is 70% of all of the spells and traps ever released in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! This card's name becomes Visas Starfrost while on the field, allowing it to be used as link material for your Lightheart to begin your whole second combo with the Scarclaw cards, which is insane. It can also pop a monster you control to boost all synchro monsters you control this turn permanently by 800 attack points, even ones that you have yet to summon, which if you're going second is actually quite a lot of attack points considering the strength of your synchro monsters already. But primarily, again, on summon search plus his name changes to go into your Lightheart. That's the primary benefit. Axel Synchro Stardust Dragon on summon brings back a level 2 tuner from the graveyard. Easy access to Dispatter, one of your 4 level 10 synchro boss monsters. This guy can target a banished light or dark monster and special summon it back to your field, which is incredibly useful in a deck that is guaranteed to banish a really powerful light and or dark monster in the form of Visas Starfrost, as well as potentially a Reimheart or Reichheart. So you're guaranteed to banish those for an Astrolight, so bringing those cards back to the field to then recycle them to potentially go into another Astrolight later, as well as additional synchro summons, is just insane. So Dispatter is nuts. It can also then, when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target a banished card in either player's banish zone, return it back to the deck, and depending on where you returned it from, you get a bonus effect. If it was your banished card, you pop that monster. If it was their banished card, you negate that monster. So you get a choice, and you get to recycle more cards. Pretty awesome. You have your Baron de Fleur, which is your generic, once well face up, Omni Negate. Old reliable, very safe, very reliable card, easy to get up before sort of like pre or mid combo. If you have a moderate to decent hand, you can actually summon this card before you really get started, which will help protect you from Nib. Which is the card's primary benefit, because I do honestly believe the other 3 level 10s are stronger. And that includes, but is not limited to, the SG Aquamir Azurine. Azurine is very quickly becoming one of my favorite level 10 synchros. You need a water tuner monster to summon this card, but luckily our most commonly used tuner is Meek, which is a water monster, so that's not a problem at all. This card can, at any stage as a quick effect during the turn, activate its effect, and for the rest of that turn, face-up monsters you control cannot be destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effects, the one and only counter to Mirror Jade in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And if you were to use that effect in response to your opponent's card's activation, you can banish all copies of that card on the field and in the graveyard. And if this card is in your grave and your opponent were to banish any card, you can summon this card back. It comes back. But usually, this card is so powerful that I've yet to need its recursion effect, because 99% of the time when I summon it, I win that game before it goes to the grave. It's just insane. Chaos Angel, just finishing off the protection effect of the Gwamir, and And I think that these two cards are a really good indication of where Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going. An Unbreakable board has stopped being a board with 8 negates. An Unbreakable board is now a versatile board with a lot of protection, that has a lot of follow-up, that has a lot of interaction, rather than just 40 million negates, right? Because that doesn't work anymore. Chaos Angel then, when summoned, can banish a card your opponent controls. It does not require a tuner if you're using only lights and darks, and gains an additional effect based upon the types or attributes, I should say, of the monsters used for its summoned. If you use a light monster, all your synchro monsters are unaffected by your opponent's activated monster effects until the end of that turn. You saw that in the Dino Warfare game, that won us that game. And then if it's a dark monster involved, all of your monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. Now that, of course, if you use both light and dark, you get both effects, so this card is incredibly powerful. Then we have just some generic engine link monsters. We have Scarclaw Lightheart, which on activation searches your Phobia, which we already talked about. It can also revive itself back from the graveyard if you control Visa Starfrost, so it can act as a little bit of an extender. You saw that in the gameplay. Cross Sheep, whenever a monster is summoned to a zone it points to, it gains effects based upon the types of monsters that it points to. If it points to a fusion, you special summon a monster back from your graveyard. If it points to a synchro, all your monsters gain 700 attack points. Those are the two effects that you will be using. And lastly, Sprite Elf, something you'll summon using your Cross Sheep plus any other monster. This card, once per turn, can bring back a level 2 from your graveyard, which is integral to your synchro plays, and it can also protect anything it points to from being targeted by effects. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, I do genuinely believe that this is one of, if not the strongest way of playing Mannadium. I really think that this deck is nuts. Once I'm back home, currently, of course, you can tell by my surroundings, I'm on vacation. But once I'm back home, I'm fully planning on taking this into events. I'm planning on challenging DK's Metal Weekly and everything with this deck. I'm very excited for the future of Tearlaments Mannadium. But anyways, we got this far into the video, so if you're still here and you're still watching me, first of all, thank you very much for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. If you aren't subscribed for whatever reason, of course, make sure you're subscribed to help your boy out. We're trying to hit quite a hefty annual target this year. I'm going to set it quite high. I'm going to set the target at the end of January, so we have a rough idea of where we're going. But we're going to be aiming for the fucking stars this year. So if you want to help your boy out, you know where the button is. It's right there. Hit it, help me out. Hit the like button as well if you really want to help. And I'll not take up any more of your time here today. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.